Minolta SRT series are regarded among the best mechanical SLRs ever made. Given the very interesting history of Minolta and its popularity among film photographers, I wanted to try one for the longest time. If you want to buy one of the Minolta SRT cameras, there are different models with different features and it can be quite confusing. Here's a table that I put together to simplify my search for the right camera body with the right features. And as you can see in this table, the most feature-rich body is Minolta SRT 102. I found my copy of SRT 102 on eBay almost 1 year ago. During this year, I used it in different weather conditions and got some good pictures. About the camera structure, on top of the camera there is the shutter speed dial from 1 second to 1,000 of a second with flash sync speed of 60, and there is also a pull-up ISO dial around the shutter that goes from ISO 6 to 6400, which is quite interesting. Film counter window is also very nice and well designed. The back plate of camera has a slight curve to it and it helps to better grip the camera. There is also an ASA to DIN conversion table in form of a circle on the back of the camera that doesn't do anything. The bottom of camera has the tripod socket, the battery compartment, the film release button, and of course the light meter switch, which I think it was better if they had placed it on top of the camera, because I always forget to turn it off when I'm not using it, and sometimes it is actually off, but I think it is on, resulting in terribly exposed images. The front of camera has the self timer and the mirror lockup at the left side of the lens. The lens release button is a little different from my other SLRs and is located on the top right side of the lens. There is also the depth of field preview button, which has a locking mechanism. At the right side of the lens, there is a selector switch for flash sync type. X is for normal flash units that can sync only up to 1/60th of a second, and FP is for older FP bulb flashes that are obsolete nowadays. But if existed, you could use any shutter speed from 1 to 1000. Another feature of the camera is the CLC metering. CLC stands for contrast light compensation, and it helps in situations that you have too much of a sky in your image, simply by using two photosensitive cells, one for the top part of image and one for the bottom part of image, and it helps to avoid underexposed images. This photo is a good example where both sky highlights and shadow details are preserved. The camera body alone is 720 grams, which is noticeably heavier than my Nikon FE, which is 590 grams, and also a little heavier than my Nikon F, which is 700 grams. When it comes to the lens, my lens is the very common 50mm f1.7 MD Rokkor. It seems to be made of high quality plastic, and I love the fonts and colors of distance and aperture markings on it. I really love the image quality and bokeh of this lens. There are 4 different generations of lenses available for this camera. The original SR lenses, MC Rokkor lenses, MD Rokkor lenses, and MD X600 lenses. The SR mount has a wide range of lenses, from 7.5mm fisheye to 17mm super wide to extreme super telephoto lenses like 600mm and a crazy line of mirror lenses up to 1600mm. There are also many zoom lenses in every focal length, like for example 24 to 50mm f4, 80 to 200mm f4.5, and 100 to 500mm f8. All of these lenses are relatively affordable and they are very good options to adopt to your mirrorless camera. Another useful feature of this camera is its viewfinder and how it shows both shutter speed and aperture, and at the same time the correct exposure from the light meter, so you can easily decide about your settings. In the end, I think Minolta is a name to be respected in the camera industry, from collaborations with Leica to innovations like making the world's first autofocus 35mm SLR. And of course, don't forget that Sony, which is the leader of mirrorless market, got a lot of its camera knowledge from buying Konica Minolta in 2006. So that's it. I hope you liked this video. If yes, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Also, feel free to follow me on Instagram.